Hi, and welcome to Sandysnumerology. So, the motivation for doing the show is my namesake, Sandra Smith, who was a student, became a client, is a friend. Her and I follow a fabulous astrologer by the name of Pam Gregory, British astrologer, very technical astrologer, I might add. So, you've got to know your stuff if you do follow her. And she's done some forward videos on what's happening around the world, and one of them is about the United States of America, who is currently kicking their debt ceiling down the road. And the Democrats have to find a way to raise the debt ceiling on their own, something they've said that they won't do. And this isn't the first time Republicans have resisted helping the Democrats raise the debt ceiling. Typical political game that's being played there. But let's just start off with the top 5 countries that are holders of American debt. Japan, 1.3 trillion. China, 1 trillion. Hear this, we're now going across that northern hemisphere. The UK, 368 billion. Ireland, 300 billion. And Luxembourg, that is surrounded by France, Germany, and Belgium, hold 267.8 billion debt. That's just the top 5. So what happens if the USA defaults? The knock-on effect would be catastrophic. The biggest one that stands out immediately is pension funds. 60 million Americans, pension fund goes down the drain. Tens of millions of Americans and thousands of companies that depend on government support will suffer. The dollar's value is going to collapse, and the US economy would most likely sink back into recession. And that's just the start. The US dollar could lose its unique place as they call it technically, the unit of account. And without that status, the Americans simply wouldn't be able to maintain their current standard of living. And this default could set off a series of events, including a depreciating dollar and surging inflation. And a lot of countries or currencies could abandon the US dollar as their global unit of account. And this will make it a lot harder for the USA to afford the stuff it imports from abroad, and the standard of living in America would drop. Now, understanding what the national debt is, the Treasury Department has 3 sources. And we're looking at how the USA government finances its spending. It can use revenue from taxes and fees approved by Congress by collecting by the Treasury. It could print money. You know, America is very famous for printing money through the Federal Reserve. And then the Treasury can borrow the difference by issuing bonds, selling them on the world financial markets. Bondholders lend the government a set amount of money to be paid back with interest over a certain time frame. Listen to this, with interest, because interest rates are about in America to start to go up. The USA national debt currently stands at 28.43 trillion, and it's above the debt of 28.4 trillion set by Congress. And Treasury has been issuing extraordinary measures to finance government spending in lieu of an extension, but those measures were due to expire within weeks. So what else could be affected? Social security, child welfare, municipalities, town council, small, medium enterprises that use their personal credit card to run their business. If there is an interest rate hike, boom, banks, house bonds, sure. But the whole thing is that this ripple effect that's going to go around the world is huge. The largest non-federal institution that holds treasury debts are private pension funds. Altogether, the Federal Reserve, government and non-government pension funds hold about half of the US national debt. So, Pam Gregory, in her video talking about the USA and this default that she has looked at, mentioned a particular date. She gives dates, but a particular date that is massive is going to be the 20th of the 2nd, 2022. And I know a lot of you are going to go, there's 2s and 2s and 20 and 2 2s. But listen to this, the 20th of the 2nd adds to a 22, that adds to a 4. Now, 22 is a power number, power number is always about the masses and global and effect. And that 4 means cutback, restrictions. It's like lockdown, can't spend, restructuring. This is people that implode buildings, so imploding of industries. And what this is all about is United States of America's Pluto return. And Pluto is not kind. It ends things so something new can rebirth. And Pluto is all about money, wealth, banking, taxes, debt, default. As I say, Pluto doesn't fix anything. This is about the rethinking of economies, but this is a massive time of disclosure and discovery, stock market plunges, unearthing irregularities. Oof, and I'm going to talk about that with the New York Stock Exchange. Top-down government, big business, corporates. So stock markets could plunge by a third or more. This increase in taxes. So there's going to be a revolt. And this is about the power of the people. And new economic systems will be born out of this, but it'll take time to establish. So let's get to the dates, starting the 20th of October. I'm talking to you on the 26th of October. 20th of October. Now we go to, I'm adding in dates here, the 4th of the 11th, 9th of the 11th, that gives triple 11s. The 18th of the 11th gives quadruple 11s. The 22nd of the 11th adds to a 33, which adds to a 6. and the outcome of that day is an 11. The 29th of the 11th gives a double hit in 11 and double fours. But the 4th has got a 7, the 9th of November's got a 7, the 20th of the 21st has got a 7, the 22nd has got an 11 outcome. And America's born on the 4th of July with double hit in 11s, and they're currently in a 7-11. Now we go to December, the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th. Watch those dates. So this is all of how the markets are going to be in a rumble, and that the default has been extended to December. Now, this could shut down government in America. It's happened before. But let's look at the date in February that Pam Gregory is locked into, which is the 20th of the 2nd, that 22-4. The outcome of that day is a 1, but the 21st of the 2nd is a double 5. America's got a 5 life path, and the outcome of the day adds to an 11. Now that is the ripple effect around stock markets. So this is quite scary. Just a little thing that South Africa, our rand, is not attached to any currency. Praise the Lord on that one. Let's look at America. In my videos that I've done on global 2020, 2021, and also Biden coming in, America's in a 7-11 year. That's all of the water issues, the lack of water or too much in any form of water, whether it's rain, hail, snow, floods. It also brings in earthquakes, and this is going to be a financial earthquake. This, in America, they are 245 years old, and the age currently adds to an 11 too. There's another 11, and America's got 3 death triangles under it. Yes, there's going to be some major notices of people passing, but that's not what I'm talking about here. This is going to be the major ending and of, go back to the 20th of the 2nd with the double hidden 4s, and these are 3 death triangles that sit in America. It's all about structures, old structures and new structures. Can you imagine? This is going to affect Medicare, the military, the child welfare, the homeowners, a small business, personal credit cards would default. Yo, this is big. Let's go to the US dollar, born on the 2nd of April, 1792. Double hit and 6s and a 7 life path. They are currently in an 11 personal year. Make and break. And this is where people could dislodge themselves from the dollar. Their age adds to a 4. Note this, 229. So that 22 is kind of showing its little face there, because the age adds to a 4 and the 20 of the 2nd, double hidden 4s in my system. Now, under the US dollar at 229, 230 years of age, they have got 2 death triangles as well. But importantly, they've got 11, 9, 11 triangle. And that's the same as September the 11th. And it's not about But look at that kind of earthquake that happened with September 11th. This is just a different form with the markets, but the dollar. Underneath this 11-9-11 triangle is a 22-4, 11-2 that adds to a 33 that adds to a 6. And I mentioned you've got to watch that 22nd of November, major date. Underneath that is another 4 triangle, which is a 66-55-10-1-4 triangle. Not good. So the numbers are all November, a whole month of 11s. And then other days have got a hidden 11, and other days have got double hidden 11, triple hidden 11, or it's an 11 outcome. And 11 is stock markets. And 11 is masses. So, starting now, from this 1st of November, watch the markets, watch your investments. Now let's go to the New York Stock Exchange, which is born on the 17th of May. 17 and 5 adds to a 22 that adds to a 4. So that die is cast in America's New York Stock Exchange's date of birth. So they've got a 1, 7, 8, double 5s, double hidden 4s, one of them's a 22, and a 5 life path. But they are currently 2 to 9 years of age, and the age adds to a 4. They're in a 9-4 year. And what is critical here is they have got double hidden 4s, one of them a 22-4. They're currently also the age adds to 4, that's triple 4s. And when it's age, it's about outside of. So that's about the greater world where things could go into a lockdown, and so they could close the New York Stock Exchange for a couple of days to prevent a major fall, or after a fall to stop it from falling. But 2 months before the turn of its birthday, 2 to 3 months, it's going to be in February. The energy of a 5 comes into play. New York Stock Exchange has got triple 5s. Its age will be 230 years of age. By the time it hits May of next year, there is 5 is import and export of people, product, or currencies. And what does the stock market deal with? It deals with that. This is huge. The power of the New York Stock Exchange, and remember, America's got a 5 life path as well. This is critical. But it's also going to expose, I think there's going to be a lot of problems within disclosure and discovery regarding investors, etc. But regarding the 5 age is discovery, disclosure of corruption, mismanagement, the politicking, the power games, etc. that go on. So that's all going to come out. And, we've seen before when there's been stock market crashes that people have committed suicide because they really have lost everything. And America's got these death triangles. New York Stock Exchange, under its name, has also got a death triangle. Sure. So, that ripple effect, Pam Gregory also mentioned one other date, which was the 3rd of March 2022. Now I'm going to say let's bring it back a day, because the day before is the 2nd of the 3rd, which gives the day a double hit in 5 and an 11. And that is America's life path and hidden aspects. So there are other dates, January, February, into March, and throughout the course of next year, that's going to have these very critical days of the markets. And what is interesting is, you know, America's always had this thing with China because China hasn't fulfilled its spend. In America, COVID came along, also restricted it. They're trying desperately at the moment to get China to up its spend. But the interesting thing, now we know America's in a 7 personal, and they're born on the 7th month. China's born on the 1st of the 10th, gives them an 11, gives them double 11s, and they've also got a 7 life path. So you can actually see America's got 4, 7, double 11, and China's got double hidden 11s and a 7, and China's in their 7 life path as of the 1st of October 2021. So when you're in your life path, there's introspection required, and it's about direction. It starts off directionless, and it's got to find its way to get on highways or to get off highways. And 7 is very sensitive and emotional and very defensive. And that's where China is. And only by April do they hit their midpoint, and because in their life path, it's going to dig even deeper. When will they find their direction? Probably after the end of July of 2022. However, by the time they hit their birthday in 2022 October, they go into an 8-1 and they've got 4 ones. That's 5 ones. There's a loss of fortune there. This is not investors. This is not spend. This is the loss of spend. A lot of loss of people buying. And the interesting thing, under the name of China at the age of 72, which is 2021 to 2022, they're sitting with double 5s and 11. So that is going back to critical dates that I've mentioned in November and December through to the 20th of the 2nd February and the 21st of the 2nd February 2022. And then we go to Wednesday, the 2nd of March, the 3rd of March, and the 4th of March, 2022. The renminbi is in a terrible time. It is born on the 1st of December, double hit in 4s. It's got an 8 life path and will turn 73 in December. And because its age adds to 1, should be great fortune, lots of money, making money, worth something. But it's got triple 1s in its birth date, so that's the loss of fortune. But there's something interesting here because the renminbi sits in it's also got 999 triangles in its name, which is protection. And why would that be protection? Why would the renminbi be protected? Because China will do business elsewhere. And we know that they've got their own cryptocurrency as well. They're changing a lot of their rules and regulations there. But the power of America, as I said in my 2020 global video, it's the power of America, because that's how we outside of America look, how dominant the dollar is and how dominant America is. The power of America is over. But let's look at that. I'm talking that it's like a company, that the industries are collapsing, governments are collapsing, banks are collapsing, education, the way we are doing business and the way we have worked in the past is over. I know the America's been talking about their own cryptocurrency that's still in the making. Could that be fast-tracked? I don't know. I don't know that, if the government is controlling it, then why use it? So this is a very critical time. So watch your investments. Know that South Africa is going to be affected by this. Our Johannesburg Stock Exchange is born on the 8th of November with double hidden ones and a 7 life path. And it's going into the year of heart attack. So that will be the repercussion of America, and their default is going to affect our stock market for 2 years. So it's now time not to be controlled by the powers that be. And if we look at the global powers of Britain, Germany, America, I mean, China's the biggest economy in the world. America needs them, but America kind of still wants to dictate to them. And I think China's going to take a different stance on things. And will they default on supporting the USA? I've always said that China is the bank and America is the credit card. So same with Japan. If Japan's got 1.3 trillion of America's debt, that's another bank that's going to go there. And if China and Japan stick together, kaboom. How does America sort this out? I could look at Joe Biden. He is born on the 20th of November. So he's got double hidden 4s. He's also got an 11 life path. He's born in the month of November. He's going to be a lot more in the public eye. His age will be 79. So he's going to be a lot more visible. But his age is a 7 and internally America's in a 7. So there is a lot of defense, emotions, direction. He's going to be more of a public figure now than ever before, in the sense of maybe trying to avert or trying to negotiate. I know he's done his first meeting or second meeting ever with China. So you rattle China's cage, sure. If they don't support America in this debt and Japan doesn't, this is massive. And this is definitely going to have a ripple effect. So please watch your investments. Always spread your baskets. Don't just invest in the majority of one thing, and don't go for any strange investments that you don't know. Please be very, very careful. So this is also warning people in your relocating that a lot of people have left South Africa. A lot of people are British and they're going back to the UK. It's not going to be easy no matter where you are. And I think already a lot of people that I know have regretted leaving because COVID then came in, and unfortunately they haven't been able to support themselves, and their debt is mounting, and their ability to come home has been severely reduced in their potential of how they could have remained here living versus diminished their cash and the job market hasn't been friendly. You've got to be entrepreneurial. And then one of the important things that I said is communities. Support your communities, support your local suppliers. And that's where it is. That's where the power is. The power's with the people. And I think this is going to cause a lot of strikes in America. And it's going to be an emotional time where people want to defend and protect their investments, their bank balances, etc., their homes. Not going to be able to. This is really a time for us to readjust our thinking as well. And that's for everybody around the world. So watch the space. And to Pam Gregory and to Sandra Smith, thank you for pointing this out to me. So know that the big date of the 20th of second is what 2020 was in one day. Hectic. The ripple effect the following 2 days after that is not pleasant at all. But take care. I'll be back after our elections to see where we are and who is in control of what regarding our municipal elections. Thank you for watching Sandysnumerology. Take care.